Today on the bench, I want to tie you up Dawn's Purple Dream. It's a pattern that we really put a lot of effort into last year testing, and it turned out to be my go-to pattern for both lakes and rivers. Make sure you have these materials ready before you tie the fly. We'll tie the fly in a size 12, 2x long nymph hook. We'll use some 8/0 black thread to tie with. We'll use a 7/64 inch purple wand bead as the bead, some black marabou for the tail, some purple holographic tinsel for the body, some UV coating over the body, red copper wired for the rib, some purple diamond bright for the thorax, a black saddle hackle tip for the hackle, and some black goose biots for the wing. To start the fly off, I put my thread on the hook, and I've taken a small clump of my black marabou, and again, just a small clump. I don't want the tail to be super fat or too big, so take a small clump. And again, always remember, take one wrap of thread behind and pull it back up. That keeps the tail upright. And then what we're going to do is not cut it, we're just going to pull it to length. And cut it about the length of the hook. Now that we have the tail tied in, I'm going to take my red rib and wrap it down the body and just keep this off the back for tying up a rib a little later. Now the rib's tied in, we're going to take our medium holographic fiber, and this is a purple color. And I like the purples, the blacks, they're all good color, but I really want to make this fly as purple as possible. So we're going to tie this in and then wrap it up to form the body. And again, don't worry about too much of a taper on the body. It can be fairly even in size. And wrap it right up to behind the bead. Now that we have the purple body tied in, I'm going to take my red ribbing and I'm going to go opposite direction of what we wrapped the body in and form, I like to always form between 5 and 6 ribs of the fly and go right up to behind the bead. Now that I have the body and the rib tied in, I want to make sure it stays secure. So what I'm going to do is just do a quick whip finish right in the head, just to hold my thread there, keep it on. And then we're going to take a little bit of our UV knot sense. It's just a UV coated material. Just put one drop on the body. And then we're just going to open up our vise here a little bit so it can rotate and just keep smoothing it along the body. And then what we'll do is put a UV light on it and cure the body so that it stays intact. Now the body's tied in and fully UV coated, I'm going to take a bit of my diamond bright, and this is a very nice color. It's just a lighter color than the bead. Just put a very small amount on your thread. You don't need much. And we're going to form a small thorax on the fly. Again, we don't want it too bushy. Just keep it fairly small. And just wrap it around and just form a small thorax on the fly. Now the thorax is tied in, I'm going to take a hackle. I like to take a hackle, put it in just to form some legs on the fly. And again, just tie it in the front, right behind your bead, trim off your excess, and then only take a couple of wraps. We only want just 2 or 3 wraps max of this hackle. And tie it off. Now the last step in the fly is to put the wing on top, and I love to use goose biots, just really natural. And I just make sure the goose biots are forming a nice V, lay them on top, and I almost extend it back the whole body length. So just lay the 2 back, make sure they're V'd slightly. Just a couple loose wraps on top, and then pull the extra back and go back around on front. Cut off your excess, and then we'll whip finish. Now, as we always do, to finish the fly off, I'm going to do a couple of whip finishes. And again, you can head cement this fly. I don't, but again, it's just an option. So there it is, Dawn's Purple Dream. When you're on the bench, you have to be creative. And here's a true example of an experiment that actually worked. We tried this in a local river. It worked exceptional. Decided to try it in the lakes, and it worked just as well. To watch all our latest Sport Fishing on the Fly episodes and to order Sport Fishing on the Fly merchandise, head to www.sfotf.ca. And if you would like to book an adventure like this one shown, head to ontheflyadventures.ca and book yourself the trip of a lifetime.